Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
Sometimes it's the only option, but being in someone else's house isn't always the most comforting place to be. There is nothing like returning from the road. Your sock drawer is just like you left it. All your favorite snacks are where they belong. And nothing is more cozy than being in your own home. The most traveled team in the majors is back where they belong. The Phillies have said this often, but they really mean it this time because they're home for their first extended period of time as they get set to begin a 3-game series against the New York Mets in a long homestand, their longest one so far this season. After being on the road in Atlanta and Washington, here's what they have. 14 of the next 16 games, the only 2 games on the road at Chicago, the 16th and 17th of May, but 14 of 16 here at home. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. The Phillies are certainly happy to be home after they finished 3-3 on this road trip. But news right off the bat about the road trip, which took place last night. Cole Hamels has been suspended for 5 games by Major League Baseball, and this is the reason why. In last night's bottom of the first, he hit Bryce Harper of the Washington Nationals. Now, Harper eventually came around to score. Later on, Hamels was then hit by Jordan Zimmerman. As we found out today, and after the ball game, Cole said that he hit Bryce Harper on purpose. Earlier today, Ruben Amaro, Rich Doobie, Cole Hamels chatted. Major League Baseball came down with the 5-game suspension, which will begin tonight for Cole. Now, the way things work out, he may not miss a start, and that's a break for the Phillies.
Yeah, it is, and, you kind of anticipated there would be some disciplinary action. A lot of times this will happen in a game, and then the pitchers, well, they say it slipped or they don't say anything. And, in this case, he probably was a little bit too candid, and now he has to pay the price for it. The whole situation, I will get into that another time about how it all happened last night. A lot of games left between the Phillies and the Nationals.
Yeah, Charlie Manuel said that he wishes that Cole was a little more discreet once the game came to a close. All right, now about tonight's ball game. Roy Halladay will get the start for the Phillies, and Doc is coming off, well, his worst start in a Phillies uniform.
Yeah, he really struggled in that game. Boy, he had 6-0 lead last week at Atlanta, feeling really good about that game, and it all blew up on him. He has pitched very, very well, though, against the Eastern Division for the most part, and especially against these New York Mets. Here's a game he pitched here at Citizens Bank Park last year, a day game. He had everything working for him, his cutter, his fastball, his changeup, and he just mowed down the Mets, and he's had great success against them since he's come over here, and ain't really back when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays. He also had some success against the New York Mets. Last year, here's what he did. It's hard to get much better than that. 3-0, an earned run average of 0.41. Look at the walk-strikeout ratio there. So as a Philly, Doc is 7-0, and you just get the feeling that he wants to go out there tonight and forget all. Well, he's going to forget about it, but maybe he'll go out there tonight with a chip on his shoulder.
Well, he has won 8 consecutive games against the New York Mets. He's going to try to make it 9 straight. Tonight, he'll begin tonight with an ERA of over 3 for the first time since September of 2009. He'll be opposed today by Jonathan Neese, roughed up in his last outing. How about Hunter Pence? Did he turn last night's game around or what? He hit 2 home runs for the Phils. He's hit in 9 consecutive games. He's back in the cleanup spot. We'll get to the starting pitchers and first pitch when we get back. three-game series between the Phillies and the New York Mets. The Phillies have an extended stay here at Citizens Bank Park for the first time this season, and they're happy to be home with a 5-5 home record in last place in the National League East. But everybody's pretty tight as you take a look at the standings. The Nationals at 18-10, Atlanta a half game back. The Mets have found themselves 3 games back, but the Phillies are only a game and a half from the Mets. If the season, let's say, ended today with the extra wild card, the Mets would be in the postseason. So that gives you an idea of how close the Phillies are from turning this around. But this is a very important homestand because it's the first extended homestand for the Phils. And for more on that, let's bring in Greg Murphy. Murph?
Yeah, Tom, you said it. You know, right off the top of the show, you mentioned 14 of the next 16 games here at Citizens Bank Park. And the Phillies have played more away games so far this season than any other team in Major League Baseball. They played just 10 home games. As you mentioned, they are 5-5. And Charlie Manuel was asked about how important it is now to start winning some games at home. And he said, quote, yeah, it's time to make some hay. And really, that's been the secret to their success over the past 5 seasons. In fact, if you add it all up over the past 5 years, 74 games above 500 have been the Phillies here at Citizens Bank Park, including 23 games above 500 just a year ago when they won 102 games. So Charlie knows how important it is to win here in front of their home fans, and he's hoping it all gets started tonight.
Well, you look at the Washington Nationals, Murph. They're 12-4 at Nationals Park. The Phillies are 5-5, so they've capitalized on being at home in D.C. All right, Andres Torres is digging in, and we're just about ready to go to kick off this 3-game series. Roy Halladay 3-2 with an earned run average of 3.40. Roy is coming off an outing, as everybody knows, in which he allowed 8 earned runs and 12 hits in 5 1/3 innings of work. Let's take a look at the Mets lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Torres, Neuenhuis, and Wright, followed by Duda, Murphy, and Davis. In the bottom third of Justin Turner, Tolle, and Jonathan Neese. First pitch of the night, just missed inside. We're underway, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Andres Torres just off the disabled list for the Mets. A .333 hitter with no home runs and 6 runs batted in. He's hit in all 6 games since he's come back from the DL.
The guy hurt his calf in spring training and then hurt it in the game. They had to put him on the DL. He came from the Giants in the Pagan deal.
Darrell Cousins, the home plate umpire, calls the first strike of the day.
Center fielder for center fielder. He can run, too. He's a pretty good player. He had some good years for the Giants.
Yeah, down year last year when he had .221. He serves that one toward the alley in left center field. Mayberry makes a diving grab out of nowhere. John Mayberry makes a spectacular catch for out number 1.
Charlie went back and forth with his lineup tonight, and he wanted to get Mayberry in there. He just felt he wanted to play him tonight, especially against Neese. Then he wasn't sure. Then he wanted to do it. And then he wasn't sure. And then finally put him in there, batted him second for his offense. Hopefully, he didn't expect that.
Well, all along, I thought it was Shane Victorino that might get under it, and then John Mayberry came over from left field to make a fantastic play. And here comes Kirk Neuenhuis, 1 for 7 on the homestand for the Mets. Neuenhuis overall hitting .298 with 2 home runs. He's playing left field tonight. Jason Bay is on the disabled list, so that's why left field is open. Neuenhuis's batting average is 3rd among rookies in the National League. There's a strike to the knees. It's 2-1. Mentioned during the start of the ball game during our open, this is the first time that Roy Halladay has began a game with an earned run average over 3. It's at 3.38 after the first out of the game. The first time since 2009. First time in a Phillies uniform. Just a remarkable number.
Yeah, there he is at 3.40. And that, of course, comes off giving up those 8 earned runs the other night in Atlanta in, what was it, 5+ or 5 1/3 innings.
Yeah, that was the first time since May of 2007 that he allowed 6 runs in 1 inning.
Good numbers against the New York Mets lifetime.
2 outs. David Wright's the hitter. Wright takes a breaking ball for strike 1.
Such a big play by Mayberry to start the game, because Roy Halladay, as great as he is, he's got you know, he's coming off a tough loss, and the last thing he needed was a leadoff double or triple. And Torres can run well enough. You don't know, depending on where that thing could have gone. Maybe Victorino overruns it a little bit. It could have been a triple.
He just waved you off, Wheels. He said,
yeah,
nah, I had it.
I had it all the way. It was a no-brainer. Just because I'm 6'6", I could reach out that far.
Wright's numbers in the majors. Overall, he's 4th in the league at hitting at .375. Ground to foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And his on-base percentage is out of sight. First in the major leagues at .481. That is really high. He's been on base at 23 out of 25 games. It means he walks a lot.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it with a cutter. 1-2-3 go the Mets here in the first. Great way to start for Roy Halladay, helped out by John Mayberry. It's a 14-pitch first inning. Halladay strikeout number 30 on the year. That finishes up the top of the first. When we get back, the Phillies will bat for the first time. For the most live sports, Jimmy Rollins leads it off at shortstop. The big difference, John Mayberry hits second. Shane Victorino third, followed by Hunter Pence and Ty Wigginton. In the 5 spot, Carlos Ruiz will hit 6th. In the bottom third of Polanco Galvis. And Roy Halladay, of course, will face 25-year-old left-hander Jonathan Neese, who has up and down numbers against everybody else in the league, except for the Phillies. Look at his numbers, 2-1, a 4.08 earned run average. And he threw a heck of a game earlier this year against the Phils.
Yeah, you normally pitches very, very well against the Phillies. Had a short outing his last time out. As you see the scouting report on it, he's really tough on left-handed hitters. He will pitch inside with an outstanding cutter, and he's starting to throw more curveballs too, where he tries to backdoor hitters with it because he knows they're aware of the pitches inside.
Jimmy Rollins 6 for 12 this year against the Mets, overall hitting .223. And he's behind, no balls and 2 strikes very quickly.
And what they normally do is play these right-handed hitters to pull. And Jimmy Rollins no exception right out of the chute because he pitches inside so much. There he goes
with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and it remains 0-2. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Joe Gannon of Southampton. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, and Joe will win $200. Ground ball foul on Samuel. But he let it play him a little bit.
He saw it was going to be a little bit low, and he said, I'm not getting that on my fingertips.
I wouldn't either if I were Sammy.
I don't need that. I caught enough of them.
And he did it well, too. Rollins' numbers, his splits between home games and road games. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I think you'll see a lot of this tonight as normal. David Wright's over near the line. The shortstop is in the hole. All kinds of room up the middle. See right here, they're going to give you all this stuff because Neese pitches inside so much.
You have Justin Turner playing shortstop for the injured Ruben Tejada. He's not normally a major league shortstop. He's played shortstop in the minor leagues. He's following the same pattern that Tejada followed earlier this year.
Tejada was doing a heck of a job for him. Blew out yesterday.
3-2 the count now to Rollins.
They didn't DL him, did they?
They did. Right
oh, they
before
did?
the ball game. Yep.
They said they were going to. Who'd they replace him with?
Jordani Valdespin.
Oh yeah, that guy was up earlier with him. Not when they were here.
Terry Collins, the manager of the Mets. Rollins hits it hard, but just foul. And it remains 3-2.
You'll see a lot of that tonight if Neese is on. A lot of balls pulled foul. Think Al Leiter, the way he used to pitch, and all the foul balls down the third base line.
Darryl Cousins, the home plate umpire. He's the crew chief. Philadelphia's own Alan Porter over at first as Rollins lines it toward right center field. That's it for a hit. Torres couldn't play it properly, bobbles it, kicks it. Rollins thinking about 3. On his way to third, Murphy's throw offline, and the Phillies have a runner at third to start the first.
I almost think that has to be a double and then an error on the center fielder because Jimmy had started to shut it down to a second, and then when he saw it get away from him, that he started to go, and they did score a double and an E8. That's correct. He hits it really hard. Now Torres gets to it right here, and there's a point where he starts to control it, and then it bounces away again.
So Rollins is safe at third, safe and secure with New York life. So a double for Rollins, his 5th of the year. The error for Torres is first, and the Mets will play the infield back. Mayberry takes it sided low. An RBI situation for John Mayberry, who has just 2 this year. Be nice to come through right out of the chute.
Well, he's one of the little gimme RBIs right here, even with a ground ball. Charlie just not even a hunch tonight. He liked it, Mayberry against Neese for the numbers that he's had in the past. He wants to try and get him going somehow, and he just thought, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to hit him 2 tonight, and maybe he'll have a big night, or maybe he'll run into one.
And he runs into one, a liner to center field. Torres makes the catch. Rollins heading home. The throw to the plate hits the mound. 1-0 Phillies. I'll tell you, that's one of the best swings Mayberry's had in a long time.
Yeah, he hit it hard. It just had a lot of hang time on it. But he hit the ball right on the nose, and they get an RBI out of it right out of the chute.
3rd RBI of the year for Mayberry. 1-0 Phillies.
Cutter kind of hung out over the plate a little bit. Strong throw there by Torres. You said it hit the mound, though, and that took a lot out of it. Jimmy right there, he's not sure whether he's going to slide, not slide. And he's got the whole plate. You know, if you're going to slide, you might as well get down. Don't get hurt.
Let me get rid of the right side of the batter's box and part of the left side.
He did. He obliterated. He's probably got a lot of chalk on that unit.
Want to know the count to Victorino. I think they're making fun of him right now. Victorino had a pretty good road trip. He was 8 for 26.
Yeah, well,
Pete McCann talking to Jimmy about his slide.
What was that? We didn't practice it that way in Florida, did we? Jimmy Rollins usually does everything that looks so cool, and that one was kind of in between cool.
I don't know. He kind of made it look cool, though.
He did. Yeah, like I said, it was in between. You know, it's something you don't rehearse.
Victorino's hit it 7 consecutive games. His average at 246. Does have a home run lifetime against Jonathan Neese. And he rips that one through the hole on the left side.
Playing the line. We're talking about playing a full defense for the most part on Neese. So, you know, you can hit a routine ground ball like that and it'll go through. He hit it right on the nose, but David Wright was way over. It's time now for the Nissan Keys. 2 tonight's game, and you know, I just get a feeling, I think everybody does around the Phillies, that Doc's going to be out to be Doc tonight. That game was just so unlike him the other night, and normally you have to expect a tough start from Jonathan Neese against the Phillies.
Neese 4-4, 3.58 earned run average against the Phils. Pence chops the first pitch toward third. Boy, Murphy was way off the second base bag when he made that grab, but he was in the neighborhood, and Ron Kulpa gave him the out. So the fielder's choice, 5-4 on the putout.
Not a double play ball. A lot of times if you have both feet down on the other side of the bag and you catch it, that's when they'll get you. And he was close to that.
Now Ty Wigginton, 3 for 14 on the road trip. That included 0 for 5 against the Nationals. Playing against the team that he was originally drafted from. He didn't like that call. He's hit well here at the ballpark in the 10 games. He's peppered that left field porch twice already.
Phillies with an all right-handed hitting lineup tonight. Mentioned how tough Nice is against left-handed hitters, so they went with the right-handed hitting lineup, and you know, they have to just be aware of that cutter.
Well, he averages 17 pitches per inning, or at least has this year. He's at 20 right now here in the first.
Yeah, he gave up a couple home runs in his last start, only pitched 3 innings. So he's rested.
2-run shot and a 3-run shot. Swing and a miss, 2-2. See the Phillies against the lefties this year, 2-6. They've lost 6 straight. Now their numbers last year against lefties were pretty good.
They're really good.
In fact, their numbers the last couple of years against lefties were pretty good. So Pence will be off and running on this next pitch as it's full 3-2.
And that doesn't equate to the preseason worries about all their left-handed hitters, the way they were so good against left-handed starters.
Three pitch innings. Pence will go back to first.
Hit quite a few foul balls already.
Well, Rollins had a 9-pitch at bat by himself.
Timmy did a really good job of taking that, trying to get him away finally after all those pitches inside. He ripped it to right center.
There goes Pence. Pitch is fouled again at the plate.
Nice is just determined to get Wigginton out in, it looks like. Fouling all these pitches off. He's protecting in there. You wonder if they would try and go away right now, backdoor him, throw a curveball, something away from him, since he's so much protecting the inside part of the plate.
3 balls, 2 strikes the count.
Fastball away.
And a called strike 3. Wigginton knew it. First strikeout of the night for Jonathan Nice. It's a 25-pitch first inning, and the Phillies score the game's first run. On to the second. It's 1-0. Phil's on top. Highlights and more. Text AT-BAT to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details. Well, if you had any kind of mobile device today, or if you were by your computer, I mean, it was blowing up with all the things that were going on following the series between the Phillies and the Washington Nationals. I mean, late late news came out that Jason Worth was going to be out for 12 weeks because of a broken wrist. It's the same wrist he injured back in 2006 because of that play last night. But of course, all the other news, particularly here in Philadelphia, was about Cole Hamels being suspended by Major League Baseball for 5 games because of his beaning of Bryce Harper last night, and then his admittance after the ball game that he did it on purpose. As Lucas Duda takes a strike. Charlie Manuel said before the ball game today that he wished that Cole was a little more discreet after the game. Duda slices it down the left field line, foul. It's 0-2. Ruben Amaro said before the ball game that he wasn't too pleased with what Cole said after the game, or that he did it if that was his intention. And here's the pitch. Now Harper went to first and then came around to score. When Hamels came up, he got hit by Zimmerman, who didn't say after the game that it was on purpose. And before the game today, Cole Hamels, Ruben Amaro, Rich Doobie chatting. At that point, they knew that he had been suspended for 5 games.
And that's basically what a pitcher gets in those incidents. But normally it's more on judgment than in what someone said, and that thing would have gone nowhere if Cole hadn't said what he said.
Duda rolls over on it to second. Galvis gobbles it up. 4-3 on the putout.
Many times it is because there's an altercation after the whole thing. Now this, I don't know, that's a little over the line.
Well, Mike Rizzo, the general manager of the Nationals, I've never seen a more classless, gutless, chicken bleep act than my 30 years of baseball. With all the bounty stuff going on in professional football, the commissioner better act with a purpose on this thing. And I agree with you. I think that that Mike obviously acting in the heat of the moment.
Well,
but to the credit of Charlie Manuel and to Ruben Amaro and everybody else at the organization, they weren't going to touch Mike Rizzo's comments before the ball game today.
You might as well leave it alone.
Daniel Murphy, the hitter, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, as it plays out, Cole may not even miss a start because of the off day on Thursday. Now, we won't know that until probably tomorrow, definitively. 2-1 the count.
When you're suspended, of course, you can work out with a club before the game, but then you have to be out of the uniform and gone, basically.
Daniel Murphy, a .315 hitter with no homers and 9 runs batted in. Gets 2 balls and 2 strikes on a nasty curve. Murphy was 7 for 12 on the homestand for the Mets. Hits that hard and through the hole on the right side. I think Wiggins had slipped. And that's the first hit of the evening for New York.
Yeah, he didn't have much time to get to that one, too. And when he slipped, forget it. It was past him.
Well, further comments by Mike Rizzo about Cole. When Cole mentioned the old school aspect of it, I think the part where he says he's fake tough is a little outside the lines as far as Mike Rizzo goes. But he went on to say he thinks he's going to intimidate us after hitting our 19-year-old rookie who's 8 games into the big leagues. He doesn't know who he's dealing with.
Whatever.
Here's Davis, who takes a strike. It's 0-1.
So
Davis is a .168 hitter with 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. Nationals, of course, took 2 of 3 from the Phillies, but it's pretty early to establishing anybody as any kind of favorite against the 5-time defending National League East champions.
Probably was going to be a little juice in that series when they come in here in a few weeks, and they may have added a little to it.
Swing and a miss, way out in front of a curve. It's 1-2 to Davis.
This guy's been in a season-long struggle, though he did hit a home run off call when the Mets were here last time. The Phillies came back and won that game then late. But Davis is really struggling. He has a lot of moving parts in his swing, and right now they're not in sync.
Runner goes, pitches a swing and a miss. The throw to second high. Murphy is safe, and it's the second strikeout for Halladay. First stolen base of the year for Daniel Murphy.
Yeah, Davis forgot there was. He forgot the outs is what it came down to. Or he just saw the ball get away and bounce up there, and he decided he was going to run, but first base was occupied.
During the 2012 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. Justin Turner 1 for 5 in the last homestand for the Mets. Overall a .226 hitter. As I mentioned, playing shortstop for Ruben Tejada. Grounder towards second. Big hop for Freddie Galvis. So the base hit by Murphy doesn't matter much. The Mets leave one. They get a hit. We go to the bottom of the second. The Phillies have jumped out to a 1-0 lead over the Mets. All right, Wheels, get ready. Comcast Sportsnet has total Flyers Devils Game 5 playoff coverage. At 6:30, gear up for the game with the Flyers pregame live. That's tomorrow from the Wells Fargo Center on Comcast Sportsnet. Then after the game, go to the Comcast Network for highlights, analysis, and interviews only on Flyers postgame live.
We'll be playing here tomorrow night.
We will.
Right?
We can DVR it, though. First pitch to Ruiz is taken outside. It's 1-0. Carlos coming off a road trip in which he was 7 for 21, all part of a 9-game stretch in which he's hitting .389.
They were afraid he couldn't play tonight. He had to come. Charlie wanted to talk to him before the game. He came in the office. He got hit last night when he got crossed up by Cole Hamels on a breaking ball. He called a breaking ball and he got a fastball. I was talking to him on the way to the train last night, and it really hurt his wrist and his hand. And then in the 9th inning, he got an unbelievable foul tip right in the mask. So by the end of the game, he was beaten up, but his hand was really sore, and they were worried about it today. And he came in, he said, "I'm going to play. I'm fine."
Well, he's ahead 3-0. And he takes a strike. It's 3-1. You can see last night when the cross-up happened that he needed a few moments to kind of gather himself.
Well, as he said, he calls a curveball. When you call curveball, obviously you're thinking soft. Everything, your hands are soft. You're thinking about the ball down in the dirt. And then all of a sudden, here comes a 93 right at you. And you do everything you can to just reflexively catch it. He caught it. But he caught it wrong, and it really hurt him.
Sweatshirt weather tonight, 59 degrees, cloudy. It's been cloudy most of the afternoon, a little bit of rain in the area. But that rain seems to have passed us by. It did sprinkle a little bit before and during batting practice today. Where the Fanatic floppy hats, dangle hats, #1 selling item here at the Majestic Clubhouse store. Keep yourself warm.
Charlie liked Polanco in the 7-hole tonight because he said, "Hey, he got 3 hits out of there last night. He gives me something near the bottom of the order. A guy can maneuver the ball a little bit." And as I said, he just had a hunch about Mayberry. so far. You know, he has a sac fly. We'll see what happens, and a great play in the outfield.
Polanco also has great numbers against Nice, 10 for 24 against him. But it's obvious during the outset that Jonathan Nice doesn't have the same command that he had in his last outing on the 14th against the Phillies when he didn't allow a run in 6 2/3.
He had a real good command of his curveball that day, throwing it away from the right-handed hitters and backdooring them. Tonight he's bouncing a lot of pitches.
3-0 the count. So back-to-back hitters where he's gotten 3 balls and no strikes. Freddie Galvis on deck.
Yeah, and that pitch, Carlos, looked like ball 4. The old, they call it an automatic. It's not, but then he comes back in. Then he did get his walk.
Same pitch. Same pitch that he called strike 1 on Carlos. In the air to left center field. That's well hit. Going out on it is Torres. He's not going to get there. It's a one-hop off the wall. Read perfectly by Ruiz. He's on his way home. The throw to the plate by Turner. Nowhere near in time. 2-0 Phillies.
Well, all teams are going to play Polanco over towards right center. He hits the ball that way. There's open spaces. But as Tom said, great job by Ruiz because he saw where that was. You're not going to be able to score him, especially with nobody out, if he doesn't do what he did. Now, I got to figure he's out near second base when this ball's off the wall. Here's Polly, pulls a cutter in the left center field. Here comes Ruiz. We can see him at the bottom of the screen. He was near second. He may have already been around second when it hit. And now Sammy has a chance to score. Never want to get a guy thrown out with nobody out. But in this case, he had a real good chance to score. Now, he had to make that slide there because the catcher was moving all over the place trying to get that ball coming in from the shortstop. He was trying to figure out where the catcher was going to go.
Well, the Mets think Galvis might bunt.
He got crossed up. Looked like.
They'll bring the ball toward the mound. 1 ball and no strikes. Ike Davis is way in on the grass at first. With the pitcher up next, I can't imagine Freddie's going to bunt, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's up there to hit right now. That's why that was a big play by Ruiz, because you go second, third, nobody out. Then they get after the 8-hitter. If you get the 8-hitter out, you can see your way out of the inning with nothing. So Juan Samuel, he's caught in between there. He wants to gamble because he knows that what could come up second and third and 1 out, or nobody out. But he doesn't want to get a guy thrown out with nobody out.
Freddie Galvis, a 198 hitter. He had a base hit last night. And on the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Philip Umbers lost his last 2 starts since his perfect game. Cleveland has defeated the White Sox 8-6. Back toward the box, over the mound, scooped by Turner. You get the runner at first, over to third, Polanco. So 1 out on the 6-3 put out.
And Polanco hesitated just a second. That ball off your left shoulder like that. But I think he thought for a second Nice was going to catch that. And then you certainly don't want to get hung up in a rundown. So he had to make sure it got over his head before he broke. Watch the hesitation here. See right there. I think that's what it was. He wanted to make sure it got over his head, and then he went.
Now Doc takes a curved ball as the infield is in. Doc's average at 188. He has 1 RBI this year. That was on a liner down the right field line, and that's where Duda's sort of angling.
Yeah, well, that's where his hits go. When he gets a hit, he usually hits it inside the bag. Dude, a pretty good thrower too, so you know, a fly ball out there is going to be tough to score Polanco.
Phillies with a runner to the first, now a run here in the second, looking for a little bit more with a runner at third and 1 man down. That's a good hold by Doc. It was a tough pitch to lay off for a pitcher.
Well, this Tolley's doing a heck of a job early in this game blocking balls in the dirt, because Jonathan Neese has been living down there tonight. You got a chance to bounce one before this is over.
Called strike 3. Second strikeout for Jonathan Neese. And to the top of the order for Jimmy Rollins. Rollins doubled and scored the first run for the Phillies in a 9-pitch at bat. Takes a breaking ball for strike 1. It's 0-1.
A guy throws this many cutters, and you're a smart right-handed hitter like a Jimmy Rollins, a veteran player. Sooner or later, you're going to look in there for one. Well, not in there. Good piece of hitting. Long at bat. Finally got a cutter. Looked like a little backdoor action. Hit it in the gap in right center. There was fumbled a little bit by Torres. Jimmy got credit for a double. Third on the error. Oh, there it was. That was a good one, though. That one right there, hitter either swings and misses or he's going to hit it foul. I think he's looking in there this time, but that one disappeared on him.
Swing and a miss. The ball gets away. Tolley picks it up and flips to first. The side is retired. Back-to-back strikeouts for Neese. The Phillies get a run. They leave one over at third. Placido Polanco gets the RBI. We go to the top of the third. Now the Phils lead is up to 2. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. What 3 ex-Mets had a 4 or more RBI game against the Mets in a Phillies uniform? Which 3 ex-Mets had a 4 or more RBI game against the Mets in a Phillies uniform? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning, Liz. It's kind of like a tongue twister.
Huh?
Josh Tolley leads it off. Takes the 2-seamer inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So they were Mets at one time.
Yeah.
Then they were ex-Mets playing for the Phillies.
And they got the Philly. They were in a Phillies uniform when they got the RBIs against the Mets.
There you go.
All right. Guess Tug wouldn't want him.
Over the mound, Galvis has to hurry, scoops it and throws. Well, I guess he didn't have to hurry that much. I thought the ball was hit a little slower than that. It was still a really good play.
Yeah, and he had a catcher running, but you have to do everything right on the play. And, you know, you take it for granted. A lot of second basemen will come in there and they're going to bobble that ball.
4 assists already for Galvis.
You know, he makes a nice play right off the grass, and then he had time to throw him out because he'd done everything right to that point. Right there, and then he has a little quick throw to right there. But those are just real good soft hands when you can make plays like that.
Jonathan Neese takes a strike. It's 0-1. Neese is 1 for 9 this year. How about the stat about Doc not having not starting a game since 2009 with an ERA over 3?
In this day and age, with all the offense, although the offense is off a little bit this year.
Just talks about how dominant he's been. That in the Phillies uniform, his earned run average is in the 2s. But since September 25th, 2009, that was the last time he began a game with an earned run average over 3. And he picks up the strikeout of Neese.
How do you count the ways how shocking that game was in Atlanta last week? Still, when you think about it, it's surreal.
A reminder that tomorrow and Wednesday, this series will wrap up here at Citizens Bank Park. You know, we always talk about the sellout streak that's going on here at the ballpark, but there are seats still available for tomorrow and Wednesday and for next week's games against the Astros. So check out Phillies.com. Tickets move pretty quickly around here, but there are still some seats available. Tonight is another sellout, but there were seats available coming into tonight's ball game. Andres Torres is the hitter. Robbed of an extra base hit by John Mayberry his first time up, and it's 0-2.
Don't want to get fixated on his velocity, but he does have a good fastball here tonight. He just thrown 2 curveballs at Torres.
0-2 pitch. Back toward the middle. Nice play by Halladay. This is going to be a 1-2-3 inning. He certainly looks like the Roy Halladay of old. That fastball was at 93. So he's through 3. He's allowed just 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and John Mayberry will lead it off for the Phillies. by Xfinity, the official HD triple play provider of the Phils. And by Nissan. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Innovation for all. Well, here we go. Bottom of the third. John Mayberry will lead it off. Sack fly his first time up, but ground to the third this time. David Wright throws him out. So one pitch, one set aside. Well, Nice has kind of settled things in a little bit. It's 4 in a row retired by him since the double by Polanco.
Well, that was big when Juan Samuel waved Ruiz in on that double. And Carlos's baseman gave him a chance. We didn't know if the Phillies had gotten anything after that. The ball that Galvis hit up the middle was not hit very hard. They could have played the infield in if they wanted to. So that was the base running in there. I think got him a run.
Well, here's Victorino, who singled his first time up, shows bunt and takes a strike. It's 0-1.
By the way, from Carl Graber, our great stat guy, the Mets have swung at the first pitch only once tonight, so they're trying to be patient against Roy Halladay, and he's right around the plate with everything.
Does that surprise you?
Yeah, because most teams come out very aggressive at Roy Halladay.
Victorino 15 in a row against the Mets. That's counting the single tonight. 8 in a row overall. 2-1 the count. I think he might have been fooled on that pitch.
Well, this guy has a much better curveball than he used to have. He used to throw, I think, everything hard. A little changeup too, but hard cutter, hard fastball. He's added this curveball, and it's really helped him. And he buries it too. He gets that thing down.
Now the 2-2 pitch to Victorino. In the dirt, he lays off this time.
It's another curveball, it looked like. And Tolley, you know, he depends on Tolley to block those things.
All 4. So Shane is aboard for the second time in the game. That'll bring Hunter Pence to the plate. But before the ball game today, I don't know if you saw this or not, Wheels, but Shane Victorino appeared on an episode of Hawaii 5-0 earlier this season. Said he had an awful lot of fun doing it. He looked like he was having fun. And tonight, one of the stars of Hawaii 5-0, he's a guy from Easton, Pennsylvania, Daniel Day Kim, threw out the first pitch, and Shane caught the first pitch. Daniel Day Kim, I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but he grew up in Easton, went to Haverford College, and studied acting at Bryn Mawr College.
Didn't know that. Thank you.
It's also in the series Lost, which I never watched while it was on, but have started to catch up on it. That's an interesting show.
Interesting meaning
it's all over the place. Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah.
2-0 the count to Hunter Pence.
Look for a cutter.
Hunter Pence single-handedly turned the tide of last night's ball game for the Phillies with his first home run, and then put the exclamation point on the game with his second home run.
Yeah, he had a really loud home run that first time, deep to left center field, and Phillies were down 1 run at the time. It was a 2-run homer, gave them the lead they never relinquished. Because the crowd had been buzzing.
Little spinner off the mound. Murphy tags Victorino, won't get Pence. That's the kind of play that you see a second baseman come in on, and it spins right between his legs or off his glove, but Murphy was able to make that play. Well, Wheels was saying that the ballpark was buzzing. That's because of Bryce Harper stealing home to give the Nationals the lead. Then Pence hits this 2-run bomb. I mean, that is a long home run at the foot of the red porch.
Crushed that thing. And then this was a screaming low hook that just got over the fence into the first row. That could have hurt somebody.
Wigginton the opposite way, a foul ball.
Guy was over there digging the ball and some flowers out at the same time. Nice is really hard to run on. One of the toughest pitchers in Major League Baseball to steal against. Real quick to the plate, good move. With all these hooks he's throwing, I would think sooner or later he's going to be able to run on it if he guessed right, because everything's in the dirt.
There you go, Wheels. Only 8 stolen bases. That's not this year. That's during his career.
His career. And 7 of them were last year. But a combination of things, you know, as I said, he's quick to the plate, has a good move, good footwork.
Toward the middle, Murphy backhands. I don't even know if he saw it, but he makes the play, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits. 1 man left for the Phillies. We're through 3. Hunter Pence will head back to right field when we come back for the top of the 4th. Offers free same-day delivery to most areas. Just call by 11:30. They deliver by 5. Who but WB Mason? So we go to the 4th inning. There's Joe Blanton. He is mentally preparing for tomorrow's start against Miguel Batista. And the guy next to him is casually preparing for the start in Wednesday's finale. That's Cliff Lee. He'll throw, Rich Doobie said today, between 75 and 80 pitches in his start on Wednesday, and it's going to be great to see Cliff Lee back in the rotation. And there's Chase Utley. He's just taking it all in, taking batting practice, taking ground balls, getting himself ready to go out to hopefully, with our fingers crossed, start a rehab assignment sometime in the near future.
Yeah, fighting fields really need him, but Utley on the bench there, he'll look at, see if he can pick up whatever he can from different pitchers, and really it just helps his game. You sit there and you study. Just about every pitcher does something to tip off 1 or 2 of his pitches.
All right, now not only help his game, but he's also trying to help his teammates too.
Well, yeah, if you see something obviously that would help them, yeah, you'll mention it.
2-2 the count to Kirk Neuenhuis, because he's constantly looking at video, even now, to kind of help the rest of the guys.
Yeah, and these guys too, they'll look at their videos, and again, for me, I always like looking at the videos doing damage. I didn't like going in and looking at me swinging a slider down and away, and as Doc punches him out here, check out the movement. That's how you know he's on his game there. That ball cut back in a little bit. Might have thought that was too low, but that's where you want to be able to pitch, down in the zone.
Well, that's 4 strikeouts for Halladay. He's allowed just 1 hit. David Wright is the hitter. He struck out his first time up. Little high, 1-0.
Having an excellent year again.
You see 91 on that fastball, which is a pretty good number for Doc. Not where it was, let's say, a couple of years ago, but still, that's a good number.
Yeah, good number, and he had that ball riding in on him. It should be that little breaking ball away.
Rolls over on it to Polanco for the second out.
But that's more for effect than anything else. Doc knows you get that ball up and in to David Wright, then you can throw him soft away. He's not going to be as aggressive because of the balls that were up and in.
So 2 outs. Lucas Duda is walking to the plate. Duda is 0 for 1. He grounded softly to Galvis his first time up. One fly ball out. That's it so far for Halladay. Everything else has been on the ground or a strikeout. Halladay, during his bullpen session in Washington, said he and Rich Doobie worked on some mechanical adjustments to his motion. Whatever he did, he's got an awful lot of movement tonight, at least through the first 4 innings, as Victorino tracks that one for the final out here in the 4th. 8 in a row retired by Doc. I'm sure Rich Doobie's feeling pretty good right now as the Phils go to the bottom of the 4th. Today by Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. Call 1-800-JEFF now for an appointment. And by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. Well, last of the 4th. Turned out to be a pretty nice night here at the ballpark. Phillies up 2-0. Ruiz will lead it off, and he swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. Carlos walked and scored the second run of the game on a double by Placido Polanco.
He's been doing a great job this year, just kind of getting pitches that, you know, he can handle. Doesn't get nervous when he has 2 strikes on him, and that's that confidence, and that comes from playing over a few years. You get that confidence at the plate.
Well, he's always had it behind the plate. I'll tell you, though, he does have kind of a swagger to him at the plate.
Well, those hits will make you swagger, that's for sure.
2-2 the count. Those are 2 tough pitches to take with 2 strikes.
Well, Darryl Cousins kind of flinched on that first one he was going to call, maybe strike 3, but after that, when it's low, I don't think you can call that low pitch.
In the dirt, that was really low. 3-2. Carlos has had some success against Nice, who's really running his pitch count up in this ball game. Carlos is 5 for 14 against Nice. And there's ball 4. Cousins looked like he may have flinched again, but it's the second time tonight that Ruiz has walked. 3rd walk overall. And it'll bring Placido Polanco to the plate. All right, Sarge, so a lot of talk today, obviously, and even yesterday, was about the incident that occurred in Washington where Cole Hamels hit Bryce Harper. Today we find out that he's been suspended for 5 games. I know we've been talking about it all day long, and not to make it a sort of a talk show here within the game, but it is a topic that that is worth talking about.
Yeah, I just thought, for me, really blown out of proportion. First of all, you look at where he was hit. That's right near, the buttocks area there, maybe a little bit above. I understand on really both sides because of what the players are making these days. You don't want anybody hurt. But the fact is, I mean, it's a respect thing. It wasn't up near the head. It's right there in the body. And then I thought it was taken care of because Cole got hit.
Well, that was my feeling, too, is that Jordan Zimmerman, who didn't even get brought up, today when the suspension was handed down, answered with a pitch at the calf of Cole Hamels. In baseball terms, and Charlie talked about this today, it should have been over with at that point. As Polanco hits one toward right center, Torres is over and makes the catch for the first out.
Well, I got to, really admire Bryce Harper for the way that he handled it. I mean, he did what he wanted to do, and that is to steal home plate. And again, for me, this Bryce Harper, he's going to be the new Chipper Jones, if you will, here at this ballpark. That's how good a hitter this kid is going to be. And the other thing for me, don't intimidate this kid. I had the opportunity to talk to him, and I'm going to tell you, he is the real deal. But you got to pitch him in and up and in order to be successful. And, Cole was trying to do that and also intimidate him at the same time. That's not going to happen with him. Not at all.
I kind of went back to see if any pitchers had ever admitted to hitting players during the course of the game. It was tough to find anybody that really came out and admitted it. There were a lot of pitchers that today used to pitch in the game that said it with a smirk that, no, I've never hit anybody on purpose.
Yeah, they've all hit them on purpose.
Right.
And Ricky Patalico, too, let me tell you. They have hit guys on purpose because, again, you get respect sometimes when things happen in the game and not intent to harm anybody, and you don't when you're hitting them down near the area of the legs and so on. If you're up near the head and so on, okay, I can agree with that. But I thought it was an incident that was really over, not that big of a deal. Back in the day, we used to be able to break up double plays when you got hit. Well, they stopped that, and guys aren't doing that anymore.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Galvis with the runner at first. Swing and a miss, and there are 2 outs. Well, I guess the big thing was obviously Cole admitting it after the game, so that led to the suspension. Maybe it would have been over with. Well, it would have been over with.
Yeah.
If Cole hadn't said anything after the game.
Yeah, and almost kind of joking like. I mean, it wasn't, with him talking, what I got out of it was kind of, welcome to the big leagues. I know for a fact that if I wasn't going down on those no balls and 2 strikes, I'd easily had a 300 lifetime average because you can actually be able to lean out over the plate and hit guys that aren't throwing as hard. It's just a way of keeping the hitters honest.
1-1 the count to Halladay. Doc struck out his first time up. Opposite way, Ike Davis is there for the awkward hop. The Phillies leave one over at first here in their half of the 4th inning. So we've completed our first 4. Nice seems like he's settled in despite the number of pitches he's thrown. We go to the 5th. The Phillies on top 2-0. this weekend the Phillies will start a 3-game series with the San Diego Padres. How about a Friday night at the ballpark where the Phils take on the Pods? Their tickets still available. That is a surprise, but obviously it's a chance for fans to take advantage of it. Not too many Fridays that are usually available. But go to Phillies.com and purchase your tickets for the Phils against the San Diego Padres this Friday here at Citizens Bank Park. Vance Worley is scheduled to make the start for the Phils in that Friday night affair. It's always good to watch the animal out of the mound. We head to the 5th. Daniel Murphy will lead it off. Murphy takes strike 1. He singled his first time up. That's the only hit of the night. Give it up by Doc. High chopper to second. Cody Galvis is breaking in the glove over there at second base. One away. Ike Davis is the hitter. Let's check in with Murph. Murph?
Well, Tom, we talked earlier in this game about just how important this long homestand will be for the Phillies. And, earlier in the season, Ruben Amaro Jr. was asked about, kind of weathering the storm without Ryan Howard and Chase Utley early. And he said, the quote was, we have to keep our heads above water. And he was asked about that today. And he said, you know what, I'm okay where we are right now, kind of keeping our head above water, 1 game under 500. He said, look, we've made some physical mistakes and some mental mistakes, but I know this team can play better. I expect them to play better going forward. But right now, where we are heading into this homestand, he said, I'm all right with it.
Well, you look at how close the division is right now. This is the first extended time that the Phillies are home. And I think, guys, that this is the time to make a move if you're the Phillies, to try to get back within reach for the top spot in the division.
Well, supposed to be playing better at home. And again, this is the time to really make your way, maybe kind of get back up into the pack. That was a big game. They end up winning in Washington to be able to come home with just a little bit of momentum, and hopefully that's going to carry them through. And
Murph, the other thing too is that you hope that Hunter Pence stays hot and that Chase Utley and Ryan Howard continue to get healthy and get back up here as soon as they can.
Absolutely. Those guys penciled into the lineup every day is certainly going to look better on paper. You expect that they'll be able to produce at a high level as they always have. So it can only get better if those guys can come back and get healthy.
Well, Ruben Amaro said that Ryan Howard did hit today. He didn't get a full report, but he was hitting with Steve Henderson down in Clearwater. Ryan tweeted that he had a good day, which is great news. Ike Davis, a swing and a miss for the second out and the 5th strikeout for Halladay. With 2 away, they'll bring Justin Turner to the plate. Justin Turner grounded out his first time up. Strike 1, 93 on that fastball.
Now, his last outing, in all fairness to Doc, I know he gave up a lot of runs, but he wasn't getting that ball there on the corner. Some of those pitches, and even again to McCann that hit the ball out of the ballpark, there was a 2-2 pitch. I thought it was right there, and again, didn't get the call, made another pitch. See you later.
I totally agree with that. I mean, that at bat in particular, not because he hit a grand slam, but it was a really good 2-2 pitch.
Oh, and it really did. That took a lot out of him, I thought, at that particular point. But things like that happen.
Curveball, 2-2.
Your judge, not so much on that particular day and losing that 6-run lead. You kind of judged on what you're doing after that when you come back, how you're able to come back and pitch.
Everybody was walking off the field on that one. Jimmy Rollins is already at second base. He's got to go back.
Well, he has the best look other than maybe, Roy Halladay when he throws that pitch. Let's check it out here. See exactly where it is. Wow. Well, could have been maybe just a little inside.
It's the first 3-ball count of the night. Carlos was starting to squirt over to the dugout. Victorino was coming in.
Well, I mean, they have that good look, and they usually, though, when Carlos is jumping up, it's usually a strike.
Got him. Breaking ball swung on and missed by Turner. 6 strikeouts in the ball game for Doc. Good riddance to the 5th inning this time. We've played 4 1/2 here at Citizens Bank Park. Doc looks like he is in total control. He's been able to set down 11 consecutive Mets as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Playoff coverage at 9, warm up for Game 5 with Sixers pregame live. Then at 9:30, watch the Sixers tip off against the Bulls in Chicago. After the game, get expert analysis and exclusive interviews on Sixers postgame live. Total Sixers Bulls Game 5 coverage starts tomorrow night at 9, only on Comcast Sportsnet. 2-0 Phillies. What's going on with the Bulls there, Sarge?
What's going on? Injuries. Okay?
Come on.
I mean, plain and simple. You got Derrick Rose that's out. Now their center's out, Noah. And I'm happy for sure for the 76ers.
And for Doug Collins.
Well, especially for Doug. Are you kidding me?
What about Spencer Hawes? How's he playing? He's playing good.
Oh, boy.
Rollins leads it off here in the bottom of the 5th.
You know, it's always good when the experts don't expect for that to happen.
Rollins hits it hard, a one-hopper to Turner. 1 out. The experts meaning yourself.
Well, yeah. You know, but it doesn't always work out. I mean, injuries play a big, big part in all of sports. Let's just face it. And you got to figure, too, though, if Utley and Howard's on this team, that they would at least have, what do you think, maybe 4 or 5 more victories, being conservative?
Yeah, I would think so.
Well, just the way they play, if they're healthy, I mean, and been able to play like they can.
Plus the presence in the lineup. I know, people talk about that, and I guess I was never really a big believer of it, but there is something to that. Listening to Kirk Gibson talk about it a couple weeks ago when we were in Arizona, I mean, he is a big believer in presence in the lineup. He brought it up with the Phillies, and he brought it up with his guy, Justin Upton, that it was nice to have Upton, even though he was injured, in the lineup, because there's a presence that makes everybody else better and changes the way everybody else is pitched.
You're right on that. I can remember talking to Willie McCovey like it was yesterday, and what a great hitter himself, Hall of Fame player. He said that when Mays was in the lineup, he just felt so much better. And again, by the way that he played, but Willie Mays, one of those players that makes other players better, or did. I think Matt Kemp of the day, he's another player that does that, just by the way he goes out and play. David Wright here. Well, guys, they get that reputation simple, by producing. Good with the glove, and here's a guy that's been hit in the head. One of the reasons I take very exception to balls being thrown up near the head area.
2-2 the count to Mayberry. He stays alive and fouls it away. Mayberry has a sac fly tonight, his 3rd RBI of the year, and a ground out 2/3.
He's had better swings tonight. Is up a little bit higher.
Seventh 3-ball count for Nice. Doc has 1. The payoff pitch. Fouls it away again. So that's 88 pitches now for Jonathan Nice.
I always thought 3-2 was a good hitter's count. Even though that was a breaking ball, you do get fastball. This is a changeup.
A base hit for Mayberry. So he's pulled the ground ball. He pulls that base hit, and he hits a liner to center field for a sacrifice fly. Might be some adjustments that have been made by John Mayberry. Phillies Baseball Academy is open for girls and boys aged 6 to 14. You get professional coaching and skill development from Phil's players, coaches, and Baseball Academy instructors. It includes official Phillies Baseball Academy uniform, a trip to the ballpark, a camper reunion night at a Phillies game, 17 different locations. Head to philliescamps.com for information. After the 8-pitch at bat to Mayberry, Victorino pops the first pitch foul and out of play. 0-1 the count. Victorino has singled. He's also walked tonight. You going to be part of the Baseball Academy at all?
I think that's really, I used to do that too during the All-Star break when I would go back to Chicago. You know, and really one of the most important things that I used to tell the kids, very simple. You got to go up to the plate. First of all, you want to have fun, but you want to have no fear, meaning that, you know, and that's why when you're teaching early, you're doing it more so with the softball so they get used to, if they get hit, that it doesn't bother them. But just to have fun, make sure you stay up the middle of the field, and it becomes easier for you.
Victorino tried to turn on an inside pitch, and he did, but not enough, as Wright will take care of that one in foul territory for the second out.
Now, a lot of instructors will try and have guys who hit the ball to right field, and I've always thought you drag your bat when you're doing that. You want to make sure you hit that ball up the middle, and that way you're going to be still aggressive when you're doing that. Now, every hitter's different, though. I mean, right now you see the way Hunter is swinging. Well, he says, and in talking with him, he's going back to his own way of hitting. It's a little unorthodox the way you see him, but this is his way of getting ready. The sooner he's ready, easier it is for him to recognize a pitch.
And that's a key, is to recognize the pitch.
You recognize it, whether or not it's a fastball or a breaking ball as such. It'll make it easier to hit. Doesn't guarantee you're going to get hits, but it makes it a little bit easier.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Pence.
See him kind of tap his helmet there like that's not the pitch. You know, I want to be swinging at. Ball a little bit high, but he likes that high fastball.
He is zeroing in on 100 pitches in this outing.
He tried to get him to chase that high fastball again. No, even though he's a good hitter, Hunter Pence, he's still learning too. When he gets down to where he gets these 3-1 balls or 2-0 balls in his wheelhouse, he'll be even a better hitter.
They let that one go by. He's been on base 3 times tonight. Dan Worthen's going to get the bullpen going. The Mets tomorrow are scheduled to start Miguel Batista. So they don't want to go into the bullpen too early in tonight's ball game. Manny Acosta looks like he's getting his glove and will start to throw. Bullpen revamped for the Mets hasn't been very good. 5 blown saves and 13 opportunities so far. Phillies have 2 on with 1 out, or 2 outs, excuse me. And Ty Wigginton, the hitter. Boy, they could use some more runs here.
Yeah. Like Ty in these situations, he seems to have a pretty good at bat. Just a good pitch there. Ball in on his hands.
Break it down to pitches per inning. That is not a good 5 innings.
Nope.
For the Phillies, it's great, but for a pitcher, swing and a miss at an 0-2 fastball. And Wigginton's down on strikes for the 2nd time of the ballgame. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left for the Phillies. We've completed 5. On to the 6th inning. Roy Halladay has a 2-run lead. Out of Fenway and into the Phillies bullpen. Jonathan Papelbon has been the final line of defense for the Phils at the end of the game. The proven closer continues to prove why his acquisition was made. When Cinco Ocho has been called, he has answered. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. 2-0 Phillies on top of the Mets as we go to the top of the 6th. Doc has retired 11 consecutive hitters. The only hit tonight, a clean single by Daniel Murphy through the hole on the right side. Josh Tolley, Jonathan Neese, and Andres Torres are the scheduled hitters for Halladay. A cool and comfortable night. And Doc goes back to work. Strike 1. A lot of strike 1s tonight. And they're taking a lot of strike 1s.
Yeah, and that's really, though, they're in really good spots. Most of the hitters have a lot of success with Doc when they're swinging early in the count, early in the game. And again, a lot of pride for Doc. It's the type of pitcher. I mean, the way the game went his last outing, he's got to feel like he has something to prove.
Well, you were with him in Toronto.
Yeah.
Any recall on a game like that?
A lot younger then. I mean, our main guys there, Roger Clemens, Pat Henkin, Juan Guzman. I mean, he was the 5th starter, and Well, again, when you're that young, you don't really get on guys, or the pitching coach won't get on them as much. But he really had really great stuff. And I remember his first outing against Detroit, ended up throwing a one-hitter. I think it was Bobby Higginson that hit a home run off of him in the 8th or the 9th.
Philadelphia's own.
Really not.
Yeah. At the Temple.
Well, he's the one that spoiled it.
Darn him.
But this guy at a young age, you could tell, was really going to be a pretty good pitcher. I mean, no doubt.
Well, that was a good pitch. He had Tolley out front. Freddie Galvis has had a busy night with his assist. That's a putout. Five assists, 6 putouts for Galvis out of the 16 outs recorded. Mike Baxter will pinch hit for the Mets, so Jonathan Neese is done after 5 innings. Baxter .318 on the year. Rollins and Polanco. It's J-Roll. 2 outs. Well, Doc tonight has retired the side in order 4 times. Every time the Phillies do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, giving you all your favorite sports all year long. Back to the top of the order, Andres Torres. See that distribution of outs.
Yeah, those fly outs have been more jam shots, if you will. Good pitch.
Yeah, this is the only guy that hit one hard, and that may have set a different tone to the game.
He's able to get that cutter coming in, that two-seamer going away, but most importantly, just in really pretty good spots, down and away. It's interesting to see the different patterns and how he goes after different hitters. Up, down, in, out, soft, hard. That's what makes him as good as he is.
1-2 pitch. Stays alive.
He's making sure that he gets it in when he's going in. That ball was in right on the knuckles.
A little outside. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Braves have jumped out to a 1-0 lead over the Cubs. Jason Hayward is homered.
He's looking like a little different hitter himself this year, making some adjustments.
Doing Heiss on deck. Time is called, and Ruiz is asking where Torres' back foot is. He thinks there's a big hole out of the box. And now the 3-2 pitch. First walk of the night.
Wow. I gotta tell you, that's a pretty good at bat there. Eagle eye to be able to take those pitches just off the corner.
Heiss is 0 for 2. He's grounded out. He's also struck out.
I think you got to still kind of watch him over at first base. They'll probably try and run and get into that scoring position, especially when things aren't going well.
Terry Collins' team 2 games over 500 coming into this ball game. The 1-1 pitch. Torres goes. Line drive, base hit to left field. Torres slid. I think they may have deked him. So he'll stop there. So now 2 on and 2 out here in the 6th.
And that was not a hit and run. That was going to be a straight steal. Good hitting, though. That ball hit right in the hole. Now, this is the deke here that you're talking about there, Tom, as that ball goes. He's deking that the throw is going to come. There he is now. He's right behind the umpire there. And you can see that's when he hits the dirt. Just does a little bit of a fake there. That's not a strike, but we'll take that. No, you got to be an actor out here, too.
He just said, I got you.
You can read lips. You know that?
I can. It depends. 0-1 the count to David Wright. Wright is 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out.
Yep, tough situation. This is when you really want to make a good pitch, not give in to probably their best hitter, third hitter in the lineup.
It's the first real issue that Doc's had tonight. If you want to call it that. That's a fair ball over the bag down the left field line. Mayberry didn't play it all that well. 2 runs are going to score. Mayberry's throw to the plate is offline, and we're tied at 2.
Wow.
A 2-run double for David Wright.
Polanco's maybe thinking that ball was kind of foul there.
Jim Wolf, the third base umpire, called it fair immediately.
Yeah. Take another look at it. We talked about that, him being a good hitter. Wow, it went foul. Must have went right over the bag or the corner of the bag. Sure didn't land foul as that ball ricochets there right off the railing. Tough play there from Mayberry. Trying to cut that ball off. And almost, well, not going to be able to get that runner after it bounces off that railing.
So now Duda. This has all come with 2 outs, and it was with 2 strikes, and Torres came back to work the count full and then work out a walk. Wright's in scoring position.
Same situation. Don't want to give in to him. Good pitch.
Now 3-1 to Duda. Grounded out, and he flied out to center.
Still a quality pitch. That ball down, and in.
This is a 26 pitch. It's going to be at least a 27 pitch inning. Right on second. Got him. Got it with a changeup. Wraps up the inning. But the Mets tie it up on a 2-run double by David Wright. 3 runners got aboard with 2 outs. We go to the bottom of the 6th. By McDonald's, get a large sweet tea for $1. And by Chevrolet, see your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. Oh, a new ball game. It's 2-2 as we go to the bottom of the sixth. David Wright's double down the third base line brought home 2. Now Manny Acosta will be the new pitcher for the Mets. 0-2 with a 9.69 earned run average. Acosta's allowed 3 earned runs in his last 4 appearances. And he'll face Carlos Ruiz, Placido Polanco, and Freddie Galvis. You know, it's interesting, Sarge, that ball down the third base line. It's the second time in less than a week that there's been a ball that's awfully close. The one in Washington I thought was fair. That one I thought was fair also. But that, at one time, that was on the table as being a reviewable option for umpires, but they declined it.
Well, and I think that, for me, on that play right there, balls that are really down that line there should be judgment, I think. You don't want to take everything away from the umpire and take away from the game. I mean, that's part of the excitement of the game. Not that you don't want to get calls that are right, but the fact is sometimes when you're going full speed, very difficult to make a play.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Ruiz.
Now, if we're going to start looking at plays like that, I mean, you're going to start really averaging close to maybe 4 hours with ball games.
Well, the Phils need to get a little offense going. I know that sounds like a broken record, but they've had opportunities tonight, and they managed just the 2 single runs, the one in the first, the one in the second.
Yeah, I had another opportunity there and wasn't able to capitalize on it.
Off the end of the bat by Ruiz. Torres is out there in center for the first out. Next Tuesday, when the Phillies wrap up that series against the Astros, that's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Always good to get out of the office, maybe sneak away from school with the kids. Come out to see a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Midday, midweek baseball. May 15th, it's a 1:05 start. After the game, a Modell's Sporting Goods Senior Stroll the Bases. Go to Phillies.com to get your tickets for the finale of that very quick 2-game series against the Stros. Polanco 1 for 2.
It's a big game. First game of the series. You really want to win this game, and you really want to win it because they're in front of you. All those teams that are in front of you, when you go head to head, you got to be able to win the series, if not sweep.
It's a big game. I think it's a big homestand.
Sure.
Phillies, by the time this stretch is over, will have played more games in 14 days than they had in the first 6 weeks of the season, 5 weeks of the season at home. 2-2 to Polanco. Polanco down the left field line. That'll hook foul. Just out in front.
Really good, though, to see him pulling the ball. Usually he's hitting the ball the other way. Would tell you, though, that he's pretty healthy, being able to pull the ball. Costa throws the ball pretty hard. He's topped out so far, right about 96, 97. He throws that fastball.
Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. I'm with Polly. He's pointing down to the outside part of the plate. Away from the plate.
Yeah, I thought the ball was away. It might have fooled them. Take a look at it. That's a curveball there. Right by that, for me, shin guard. Paulie's kind of pointing, hey, there's where the ball is. And umpires don't like you doing that.
2 outs. Galvis the hitter. Ball and 1 strike to Galvis.
I wonder how this guy gives up any runs throwing that ball 98. This gets a lot of part of the plate. It's a good changeup. Guy throws a changeup as hard as some guys throw their fastball.
His earned run averages, we showed he was over 9. 3 earned runs in his last 4 appearances. We're 5 weeks into the season, almost 6. He's got an ERA over 9. I mean, he's been there since the beginning.
I know that. But you would think a guy that throws that hard, and you take a look at their bullpen, and ERA is high. See where they are. But when they're throwing that hard, it's simple. It's the location that they're not able to hit. It's why that ERA is up so high.
2-2 to Galvis. He rolled over on it to first. Ike Davis is there. Acosta covers. Phillies go down in order here in the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3. Go the Phils. On to the 7th inning here at Citizens Bank Park. The opener of this 3-game series. We're all even at 2. Well, the Phillies certainly are hoping to crush the Mets, and right now it's a 2-2 ball game as we go to the top of the 7th. Daniel Murphy ahead 1 ball and no strikes to Halladay. Doc was humming along through 5, got the first 2 outs in the 6th. Torres, the leadoff hitter for the Mets, was down in the count and came back and worked out a walk. And that started the rally. Murphy lifts it toward the seats over the first base dugout, and it's 2-1. Then the single by Neuenhuis, and then David Wright's double tied it up.
Yeah, David Wright's double went right over the corner of the bag down the third baseline, I think, and then it took a crazy carom out there. So with the runners going with 2 outs, they were able to get the tie. A lot of times that ball where he hit it, you know, you're going to be able to hold one of the guys at third base, but not in that case. Placido Polanco has an RBI double. That's the line on Roy Halladay, pitching in the 7th inning here, due to lead off the bottom of the inning.
2-1 pitch to Murphy. Fly ball, right center field, not deep. Pence will give way to Galvis. And Doc has the first out. Well, fans are always lucky to see Doc pitch, but these lucky fans are also tonight's Citizens 7. They were to see the prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Davis 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts. Doesn't matter what position you play. Doesn't matter if you're a pitcher, if you're a hitter. You have a lot of moving parts. It's difficult to duplicate those moving parts. Ike Davis has a lot of moving parts in the stance.
That's what we're talking about his first time up tonight, how many moving parts he has. And there's a lot of timing involved in that swing. And, you know, it's worked for him in the past, but right now he just can't catch up. You know, he's got to get his hands down. He's got to get his foot down.
2-2 the count.
And you can get out front, I think, a lot. And I don't know the way his head's bobbing around, too. I don't know how you read the strike zone real well, too. Pitches away.
Big difference average-wise from a season ago. He lines that one off Doc. He reacts quickly. Ruiz picks it up, throws to first. It goes past Wigginton. And Galvis does a wonderful job backing up on the play. That'll be a base hit.
There's been some concern for Roy Halladay right away, too, because that thing smoked him.
Rich Doobie and Scott Sheridan.
He says he's fine.
Heading out to the mound. He's saying he's okay.
He's just mad because they didn't get Davis out.
Charlie's coming out too.
Here it is. The line drive right back off his thigh, it looked like. And a great job by Carlos Ruiz. And what a backup here by Freddie Galvis. Watch Galvis hustle over on the run, slides and saves it, or it's an extra base. And Davis did a heck of a job too of not making that turn.
Yeah.
Kept watching him the whole time to see if he'd even flinch towards second, and he stayed in foul territory and never moved.
Under 1 pitches for Doc. Turner 0 for 2. Grounded out, struck out.
He may have to get the pen up. If he starts throwing a lot of pitches in this inning, he's due to lead off the 7th, and they'll have to hit for him.
Antonio Bastardo is going to start the throw in the bullpen for the Phillies. Line drive toward left field. Mayberry coming on, makes a diving grab. That ball, you could tell from behind home plate that it was hanging, but what you couldn't tell is whether Mayberry would get there, and he did. It's his second play tonight where he's left his feet, and that was a big one.
Yeah, he's done a good job tonight. He pancakes this thing at the end too, where you worry when you do this that it's going to come out. Watch. But he did a good job. No, he didn't pan. He does a real good job of squeezing it right there and turning the glove the other way. Really, he protected the ball and himself. So what happened with Jason Worth last night? Wasn't able to do it, and wound up breaking his wrist.
Yeah, they originally said that Jason would be out 6 to 8 weeks, but because he's had so many issues with that wrist, he had surgery today. He'll be out up to 12 weeks, if not a little bit more. Over toward the left side, the hole is vacated. Rollins gets to it, throws on a hop, and it just didn't have enough on it, even with a catcher running. That'll be a hit. So 2 infield hits.
Yeah, they're playing him way up the middle there. And Polanco off the bag a little bit, and he just hit that thing into no man's land.
So Scott Hairston will pinch hit. This guy can be a dangerous hitter.
Well, he's going to swing hard.
He does. 91.
Yeah. Every time he takes a swing, I don't know that he has any other swing. He just rips, and he can hit a ball a long way. But he's also got a lot of holes. Hit for the cycle recently in Denver.
Yep. Off the hands, behind the mound. Who's going to get it? Here comes Galvis, the sliding grab. What a play to save the inning. Freddie Galvis took charge because he had to, and he was able to get into a slide and make the catch, and the side is retired. He made 2 spectacular defensive plays in this inning, and that one went a long way to helping Roy Halladay. Answer. All right, Wheels, this is going to take everything you have.
No, it is.
What 3 ex-Mets each had a 4 or more RBI game against the Mets in a Phillies uniform?
Well, can I go? Would have been all right if I had thought, went back and looked at a game earlier this year.
Sure.
Ty Wigginton.
Right. I mean, it would be cheating, but yeah, that's fine.
That can't be cheating. I just want to see if I was right. Ty Wigginton.
We would have told you with a bell.
And then then I don't know, but I got to throw out Lenny Dykstra.
Lenny Dykstra is incorrect.
Right, well, I'm done. I'm out of bullets. I'm out of bullets.
You know, any guesses at all?
No. Give me a hint.
He was the first hitter in the history of Trenton's Waterfront Park. And I told you that earlier this year.
You did?
Yeah. Ricky Otero.
There's a flea in the booth, somebody just said. Is that Tim?
Yeah.
Ricky Otero, right?
Greg Jeffries is the other one.
Greg Jeffries. Okay.
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're a winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans.
I think Lenny would have been a good guess.
Lenny would have been a great guess, but it was incorrect.
Yeah.
Bobby Parnell is the new pitcher. Juan Pierre is hitting for Roy Halladay. Parnell's numbers, 2.84 earned run average. He's been pretty good for the Mets this year. There's still some talk that he may be reinserted, or I guess for the first time inserted into the closer's role. That has not happened just yet. Two and 0 to Pierre. 2-1 to Pierre.
Well, he's added an off-speed breaking ball this year. He used to throw everything really hard. Fastball, slider. Guys could time him a little bit. This off-speed breaking ball, like a curveball, has helped him.
Pierre trying to get on. Be the leadoff hitter for the leadoff hitter. As Rollins is on deck. Ball 4 goes right on past Pierre. So Juan's aboard. Right back to the top of the order for Jimmy Rollins. Hey, we mentioned that the Citizens Bank Business Person Special, the next one coming up is next Tuesday. Well, the night before, you can get a lot of baseball in less than 24 hours. You've got the Astros and all fans getting the Teva respiratory baseball cap, the Liberty Belt cap. It's Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night at the ballpark on Monday at 7:05. Go to Phillies.com. Why don't you make it a 2-pack? Get the game tickets for the Monday night game and then come on back, stay in the city, and go to the Citizens Bank Business Person Special. Rollins is 1 for 3.
Not going to bunt in this situation. Mayberry's on deck. You could go to a left-handed pinch hitter, or Nick Snyder, guys available off the bench. And I think he wants Jimmy to pull the, if he can. I know he wants him to pull the ball in the hole. The right fielder dude is really deep. No doubles defense.
Throw to first, and Pierre is back ahead of the tag.
At least he's in one.
Torres is pretty deep in center. Neuenhuis, I would say maybe a step back and left.
Kind of hard to tell. But the right fielder is really deep, as you see there at the top of your screen. Good pitch to stay off. And thankfully for Jimmy and the Phillies, it was outside, but you can't pull that ball. He throws too hard.
Toyota Major League Scoreboard, the Marlins shutting out the Astros 3-0. Giancarlo Stanton, a 2-run home run.
You know, one of the reasons they've come alive is that guy. He got hot out on the West Coast.
Yeah, they've won 6 in a row. The Marlins and the Phillies, counting tonight's Phillies game, have played just 11 home games so far. Now the Marlins are on the road for a couple more. Part of the reason why both are sitting toward the bottom of the National League East. The Nationals have played 16 home games. The Mets have played 16.
Yeah, the Marlins went out to the West Coast in trouble, won 6 in a row, and now they're trying to make it 7.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Rollins. Breaking ball low, 2-1. Rollins off the end of the bat, left center field. That's going to drop. Torres can't get to it. First and second with nobody out. Mayberry having a chat with Charlie Manuel.
Well, that was good job by Jimmy. Tough pitch too, and he shoots that parachute out there in the left center. We mentioned how deep they are in the outfield, so Torres can't get to it.
Trying to get Juan Samuel's attention. Well, you brought up a great point when you came in the 7th inning.
Yeah, I think if Jimmy doesn't cover here, he catches that ball.
Yeah,
see, he was standing right in that spot, and now the ball's hit. Torres runs. The inning's over. Just little things in a baseball game sometimes.
Yeah.
And You know, the line drive would have been hit right at him, and it wasn't. He was deep. You can see where he started to come from to cover second. So the Mets ran at the right time for them, and they got the right guy to cover.
Right, because the lefty up, you figure that the guy at short the opposite way would be the cover guy.
Right.
Mayberry squares, takes outside. It's 1-0.
I'm going to ask John Mayberry to bunt
I
it.
bet he could do it. He's a good athlete.
Well, we're going to find out. They put no play on that time. They had the straight bunt play on, no rotation.
Let him swing away. He hits it toward right field. Long run for Duda, and he makes the catch. Pierre's going to draw the throw. Well, they took the bunt off. They decided to see what he could do.
Yeah, if he hit it a little deeper to right field, a guy like Pierre would have been able to get to third, but certainly not deep enough.
What do you think about a double steal here? Although you got the right side or left side wide open for the catcher. Right side of the batter's box, I should say.
Yeah, and you have a left-handed hitter up with a clean shot at third base. Just depends on what they see from Parnell, whether or not Pierre would go. They wouldn't put a steal on. It would just be a matter of whether Pierre thinks he could steal third base or not. They're going to have Wright pretty far off the bag. Now he just took one step back towards it. You see David Wright.
To the left side, will it sneak through? Turner gets it, no play, everybody's safe. Bases loaded, infield hit for Victorino.
Perfect spot. Just showed a great shot that our guys just gave us of where they were playing. Up the middle and with right off the bag a little bit. And Shane Victorino couldn't have taken that thing and rolled it out there any better than that. There it is. Just a perfect spot. Turner's thinking about Pierre at third, and he decided against it, and he probably did the right thing because there's no angle there. I don't know that I can tell if David Wright probably hadn't even gotten there yet, and he was going to have to hit a moving target going backwards. Risky play if he throws it over there.
So the bases are loaded for Hunter Pence.
Here you go right now. Watch David Wright. See, he's backpedaling. He can't turn and run. He has to watch the play developing in front of him, try and find the bag, and Turner knows I better not throw it over there.
Yeah, because his momentum was sweeping him out to left field.
Bad things could have happened for the Mets.
Bases are loaded. Hunter Pence, the batter. He's been on base 3 times, 2 fielder's choices, and a walk. Hitless in 7 career at-bats against Parnell.
What a good ball to get here.
Great speed on the base pass. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball. It's 0-1. I don't even know if we'll see a fastball.
Well, that's that newer breaking ball that he has now. It's a little bit more off speed.
It's a knuckle curve.
Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah, it looked like a curveball. I didn't know it was a knuckle curve.
Jason Isringhausen apparently taught it to him before he went out to the West Coast.
Yeah, because everything used to be hard for him. Fastball, hard slider.
Phillies have an opportunity here with the bases loaded. The 0-2 pitch coming to Hunter Pence. To the right side. Murphy bobbles for a moment. There's one. Can they turn 2? Save! A run scores! How about that? Hunter Pence hustling all the way. The Phillies take the lead. It's 3-2 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Looked like he was out, didn't he?
Well, the last step, I thought, oh, now they're going to say that Victorino interfered. And they're calling the double play.
Went too far out.
Went too far out. Ron Culpa made the call. And we'll get a chance to look at it. It's a 2-2 ball game. Here you go. Murphy bobbled. Can Victorino get to the bag? Nope. 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly. By Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. And by Toyota. Every new Toyota purchase comes with Toyota Care. 2-2, Mets and the Phillies, top of the 8th inning. The Phillies just had a run taken away, and this is the reason why. It's interference called on Shane Victorino. He has to be able to reach the bag when he's trying to break up a double play, and Ron Culpa doesn't think he can, and he really can. We flash back to Marlon Anderson running in on this particular play right into Tadahito Oguchi.
Yeah,
that's who it was. And for everything that people say about the umpires, C.B. Buckner in particular, he made the right call right there. That was a big play that year.
Saw Marlon Anderson last night. He is working in the Nationals organization, and yeah, by rule they say they have to be able to reach out and touch the bag with the hand, and I don't know that John Mayberry could have reached out and touched the bag with his hand from that point.
Well, Antonio Bastardo is on. Torres will switch to the right side. Antonio 1-1 at 2.84 ERA. So now it's up to the Phillies bullpen. Halladay went 7 innings. He struck out 7, allowed just 2 runs.
It looked like he had a shot at beating that out when the second baseman Murphy bobbled that thing just momentarily. Victorino trying to break it up, but he just went too far.
1-2 pitch to Torres. Try to check. They appeal. Nope, says Alan Porter. Looking at the back end of that replay. Not that it matters now, but we were wondering if Porter made the right or wrong call. It looked like the Pence did get the bag.
Yep, that was really close.
Ron Culp was the guy that mattered there.
Right, he made the right call.
Two balls, 2 strikes, the count. John Roush has started to throw in the bullpen for the Mets. They had Tim Burdack up and Ramon Ramirez, but it's John Roush that's there now. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count to Torres. 3-2. It was his at bat back in the 6th inning when he was behind in the count that led to the 2-out rally because he worked out a walk.
Yeah, and then he ran, and that's what got Jimmy Rollins to move towards the bag and open up that spot where the line drive went through, and then the double tied it. And the double took a crazy hop off the stands down there down the left field line.
Down the left field line, foul. Into suite number 2. Literally into suite number 2.
Yep, they got a ball.
They got a ball. It went into the mustard, hit the relish,
took the burger.
Into foul territory. Nobody's going to get that one.
This guy's having a couple big at bats when it counts.
Two years ago, Torres hit .268 with 16 home runs for the Giants. They thought he had arrived at a not too young age, baseball age of 33 years old. I guess it was 34 by the end of the year. There's ball 4. He walks for the second time. Well, time now for our Liberty Mutual defensive plays. It's all about John Mayberry.
Yeah, it's talking about Torres. He hits his ball in the gap to lead off the game, and John Mayberry saves a double, maybe a triple. Great play. And now here comes another one. Off the bat of Turner as he comes in, dives, and makes another really good play. John, 2 of them tonight in left field.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy? Neuenhuis shows bunt, takes outside. It's 1-0.
A tough game at home right now. Mets are playing a lot of these games evidently. A lot of 1-run games, 2-run games. They're kind of used to this.
Neuenhuis, who's 1 for 3 tonight, is third among rookies in batting average. Terry Collins said that once everybody gets healthy, they weren't sure if Neuenhuis would stay, but he doesn't know if he's going to go now because he's done so well for them. He bunts that one toward third. It's a fair ball. Polanco picks it up and gets it. So the sacrifice is successful.
Mets have also scored 57 runs with 2 outs this year, 59 now. And at the beginning of the game, well, they were second to Colorado, and now they're ahead of them as far as runs with 2 outs. So that's another reason why they've been winning a lot of these close games.
Chad Qualls in the Phillies pen. Took it right at the 2-run double that tied the ball game. They're going to walk him intentionally with Duda, the lefty, on deck. And Daniel Murphy to follow, also lefty.
Yeah, they can't let Wright beat him here. He's the toughest out in their lineup. Now with the base open and 2 left-handed hitters coming up, and a left-handed pitcher on the mound.
So 3 balls and no strikes to Wright. Phillies trying to keep it at 2-2. They have one of the best batting averages in the National League after the 7th inning, which is remarkable considering that they're under 500 as a team overall. Rich Doobie out to the mound to talk to Bastardo, give him a quick update on who's coming up in Lucas Duda. These next 2 hitters at least are his, considering that there's only the righty Qualls warming up at the pen. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Cubs. Boy, LaHare hit another home run. Is that 9 home runs now? I think it is 8 or 9. Home run, RBI, runs scored, thanks to that bomb. And then Ian Stewart followed with another home run, so they went back to back. Duda's 0 for 3. Got good speed on the base paths too, so you got to keep an eye on Torres and Wright.
That was part of that conversation just then, probably. And you see right away he goes back there and looks. Make sure you do not forget about the guy at second, or he'll go. And they have to play off the line with Polanco, the third baseman, with a left-handed hitter.
Dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, this is where Bastardo is relied upon. He's got to get a tough hitter. This is where the Phillies really need him. Come in late in the game to get a tough left-hander. In this case, 2 tough left-handers.
They're doing a good job so far, really making Torres stop out there. Stop his movement, keep him at second base. Carlos Ruiz sees something and he wants to talk to him about whether it's a pitch or rather about what he wants him to do with that runner at second. You know, don't do the same thing all the time.
Fastball, a little high. Now it's 2-1. Phillies bullpen this year a 4.48 earned run average. Just blew a fastball right by him. Has not been a good last 12 games or so for the Phils bullpen. They're trying to get back on track just as the Phils as a team are trying to get back on track.
Here's a big pitch right now. Do you throw 2-2 breaking ball here and then have to go to 3-2 when you throw it again? He threw a fastball by him. But to me, the relief pitcher's pitch here is a slider.
The 2-2 pitch. Little cue shot toward third. Polanco steps on the bag. There's one and there's two. He threw the slider and Duda. He just spun it like a top over to Polanco at third base. And the Phillies get out of a jam here in the eighth. On to the bottom of the eighth. All leave it at 2. Devils game 5 and the Sixers Bulls game 5 as well. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota. Later on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, here we go. Bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 2. Roy Halladay pitched 7 outstanding innings tonight. 2 runs on 5 hits, 7 strikeouts. He had a 2-0 lead until the 6th. Now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, Bobby Parnell will pitch his 2nd inning of relief. And he'll face Ty Wigginton, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Phillies looked like they had a run on Parnell in the 7th inning, but Shane Victorino was called for interference coming out of the baseline to try to break up a double play. Late call by Cousins on that strike. He thought low first and then decided to call it a strike. So it's 1-1. There's a lefty warming up in the pen just in case Charlie Manuel goes to a Lance Nix at some point. There's a bloop to center and Wigginton's aboard.
Well, a great job last inning by both Bastardo and Carlos Ruiz. Number one, to keep Torres dead at second base, and then to throw the 2-2 slider and get that spinning double play. There's Burdick, as Tom mentioned, and Phillies are going to get Jonathan Papelbon up in their bullpen. I don't know that you want to bunt. Even Ruiz hits him with a double play. You bunt with him here, you take the bat out of his hands. Well, Polanco's on deck. Well, we'll see.
Ruiz has walked twice tonight. Wright is in on the grass. Ruiz squares, bunts it. Back toward the mound. Parnell slips and falls right into the book of Aaron Heilman. Everybody is safe first and second with nobody out. Remember that when Heilman slipped toward the third base line and threw it up the right field line?
Toward the seats after that. Well, I knew that was going to be a good play of bunt right there. I knew they were going to get Ruiz on too. Well, he made a really good bunt, no doubt about it. He bunts it perfectly, and then the right foot goes out from under Parnell, and they get nobody. Whoa. He didn't have a chance to fire it anywhere. Good bunt.
So now Polanco. This is where the cat and mouse begins again. Do you have him bunt and then pinch hit for Galvis?
Yeah, and if you pinch hit for Galvis, then you look at who you have, and they have a left-hander ready for a left-handed hitter.
So then you have Nix come up. They probably bring in the lefty, and you decide if, let's say, Kratz is going to pinch hit, or maybe you send Orr. I don't know if there's a decoy.
Right, and the Mets are going to look for it because they have to.
Corner's creeping in, pitches outside, and it's 1-0.
They made a mistake there.
They did.
Had the shortstop Turner on the bag, pleading for a throw back from Parnell as that pitch was delivered. All that room was on the left side. But Polanco, first of all, wanted to strike, so he wasn't going to swing at it, and he looked like he was trying to bunt.
Did it again. They throw behind Wigginton, who dives back. It's 2-0 now to Polanco.
Take it off now. Good hitters count.
Well, he is swinging the bat well. The only problem is that you run the risk of him hitting into a double play.
That is the main risk. That's what the manager thinks about right now.
It's all in that. A couple of touches to the ear, to the nose. A stroke across the jacket.
A lot of times all that he's doing right there is nothing. Meaning what I got on, we're staying with it.
2-0 the count. Shows bunt. And he is bunting. Bunts it toward third. Tolley picks it up, looks to third. Nobody's covered. Sacrifice is successful. Second and third with one out. So now what do you do? Galvis is standing in the on-deck circle.
And that's a cat and mouse game we're talking about, because they have a left-hander ready for any left-handed pinch hitter.
Freddie's walking up to the plate.
They'll put it on him, it looks like.
Lance Nix is coming out now to pinch hit for the pitcher.
Right. The Mets have to think about Freddie Galvis bunting here for a hit. But then you don't have a real good runner at third base necessarily who would follow it. So
I thought if he was going to keep a guy that's not a pop hitter in, he might bring in Orr to get a fly ball.
Right. The Burdick against Orr, I don't think he likes that matchup.
Yeah, I guess they figured they would bring Burdick in to face Orr, not to face Galvis. Infield is in, runners on second and third. Outside, 1-0.
He's hit a lot of fly balls lately.
There's Pete. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Straight innings, Phillies with a great chance to get a run. Less than 2 outs and a runner at third base.
That's a tough pitch. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, he's up there trying to find something to lift, and that's a tough pitch to lift.
One ball, 2 strikes the count. The runners lead off. And a topper back toward the mound. Wigginton's coming home. The throw by Parnell. He is out at the plate. And I think Josh Tolley's hurt as he applied that tag. I don't know if his ankle turned or what. It'll be first and third with 2 outs.
Well, that didn't look good.
I don't know. Maybe Wigginton's arm came up and hit him in the face. I couldn't really tell. I thought at first it might have been the ankle.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, he looks like he's a little wobbly. I don't think it's his foot. Ray Ramirez, their athletic trainer, is talking to him, and he would have been looking at the ankle instead. I think that's what happened. I think he had contact with Wigginton, like his head had contact.
Had his bell rung. Oh yeah, Wigginton goes into his slide and hits him in the face with his shoulder. Oh boy.
Wasn't intentional whatsoever.
Nope.
Yeah, right there. That's a good shot right there.
Great play by. He'd lucky if he didn't break his jaw. You see right there holding the back of his head because he. Man, when you get knocked out there, you never will. What a play to hold on to the ball too. Wow. I think I need another catcher because there's no way he can see straight right now, you would think.
Well, Nikias has the gear on, and he's going to loosen up a little bit. Just in front of the Mets dugout. Tolley's going to be lifted up to his feet. And he'll head off to the clubhouse.
They do all those nowadays in sports. It's a great thing. They do a lot of concussion tests on guys. And you would think he'd get those tests.
Well, so Nikias will do the catching. Nix is going to be the hitter. There's no question they'll go to Burdick, right? Then what will Charlie Manuel do?
That's what the way they've been managing this inning, to stay away from Burdick against a left-handed hitter. It's a nice play by the pitcher too, Parnell. He gives him a good ball to handle, and now as Tolley turns to make the tag, Wigginton arrives at the exact same moment. Watch, just as he turns, here he comes, hits him with his shoulder on the slide, and really rings his bell. But that's a nice play by Parnell to give him a real good ball to handle so he could get ready and really be holding on to the ball. In that collision, he didn't drop it.
Well, we've got a pitch hitter for the Phillies, and we're going to get a pitching change for the Mets. So Burdick will come on to face right now Lance Nix. So with a game tied at 2, Phillies have first and third and 2 outs. And they're going to need a clutch hit from Lance Nix. It looks like anyway, to help give them the lead. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies have had chances the last couple of innings to retake the lead. Now it's down to Tim Burdack and Eric Kratz. Burdack, 15 games, no wins, no losses, a 4.15 earned run average. Burdack has 10 strikeouts against left-handed hitters, 13 overall. Lefties hitting just 158 against him. Righties hitting 273. So he's hittable with a right-hander. That's why Kratz is up there instead of Nick. So Charlie Manuel uses 2 moves.
Well, they were trying to stay away from the left on Burdack, and they finally had to get to that point. And then they know that the odds are that the Mets know the odds are that they're going to hit with Kratz, but they would rather have this matchup than Nick's against Parnell. That's what it comes down to.
Kratz 0 for 2. Galvis off first. You saw Ruiz off third. Nikias is the new catcher. Ball in the dirt.
Did he get tested?
Sure did.
Jonathan Papelbon coming into this game no matter what. At home, even in a tie game, you use your closer. And if you take the lead, obviously, he comes in. So, he's been warming up, stopping, starting up again. Well, as long as this inning's long.
2-0 the count. Swing and a miss. 2-1. I asked Papelbon today, I said, how long does it take you to get warmed up? He said, well, it's a tie ball game and I'm not up yet. Or if we take the lead when I'm not up, he said, adrenaline, get me warmed up. He said, it'll take me maybe 8 pitches. That's it.
Yeah, he's had plenty of time to get loose for this one.
Yeah, cooler night, colder night. He said it'll take a little longer. 20-25 pitches. Kratz lays off the same pitch, and it's 3-1.
This guy's giving a steady variety of sliders. So you can see why he's so tough on left-handed hitters, because that baby's got some bite into Kratz. So a left-handed hitter, those would all be away. Jimmy Rollins on deck, and then Mayberry in the hole. We'll look for one.
Phillies are 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position in this game. They scored 2 runs early, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Left 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 in the seventh. They have 2 out there here in the eighth. And the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got it. So again, the Mets work out of a jam, and the Phils will have to remain tied as we go to the ninth. It's a 2-2 game. The game moves to the top of the ninth inning here at Citizens Bank Park. after the game. Stay tuned for expert analysis and exclusive player reactions on Phillies Post Game Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. That's right here after the ball game. Oh, 2-2 as we go to the top of the ninth. Jonathan Papelbon in the ball game. Papelbon has not worked recently. Last appearance was against Atlanta last Wednesday. Actually, last Tuesday, I should say. The 1st of May. 0.82 earned run average, 9 saves and 9 opportunities. This is not a save situation. He is trying to save the game, though, for the Phils and give him another chance in their half of the 9th inning. He'll face Daniel Murphy, Ike Davis, and Justin Turner. Those are the 3 hitters scheduled for New York. Papelbon was the DHL Delivery Man of the Month for the month of April. Does 9 saves and 9 opportunities.
Yeah, the only thing you worry about him in this spot is he's a little bit rusty. And, you know, that's where they're trying to. They were just getting in all these games where they really couldn't use him. They almost used him last night, thought about it, but then decided, no, we're going to let Hamels finish the game. And then when it blew wide open, Sanchez finished it.
Murphy's 1 for 3 in this game. He is singled, he's grounded out, popped out to second. Little topper, foul, and it's 0-1. There's been a lot of talk about using Papelbon in tie games on the road, or for more than 1 inning as a closer. And Rich Doobie and Charlie Manuel both said, well, no, it's not going to happen. It may happen down the road at some point where he'll pitch more than an inning for a save, but not right now. And every manager has different feelings on it. But part of it is, although he hasn't worked a whole lot, is that they just don't want to do it this early in the year.
And you'll find most of them do not bring their closers in tie games on the road. Most managers.
I can't remember one that does consistently.
Yeah. You can disagree with that philosophy if people want to. That's fine. You know, that's what baseball's so much fun. Everybody has their own opinion.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. There you go. Papelbon has been that good for the Phillies.
That's a tough out he's facing right now. He's been swinging the bat great. The Mets have never been able to find a comfortable defensive position for Murphy. Always loved his bat. Makes a lot of contact. Can spray it around a little bit. Come in, it looks like a fastball.
.94 on his fastball. That's where it's been for most of this night.
That good pitch, he says. Cousins must have said, yeah.
If there's ever been an umpire said, nah, you shouldn't have swung at that one.
I want to go away fastball.
Just a little off the plate. 2-2 the count. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Texas has put a whooping on the team that had the best record in baseball, Baltimore Orioles. 14-3 the score.
Texas can put a whooping on you.
19 hits. Murphy stays alive.
It's a tough out.
Yesterday the Orioles beat the Red Sox, and Chris Davis, their first baseman, hasn't pitched since, I think they said, college. Pitched 2 innings and got the win. He was 0 for 8 at the plate.
0 for 8 as a hitter and the winning pitcher. That's different.
Darnell McDonald suffered the loss.
He's also not a pitcher. Boy, he just fouled off a good pitch.
Fouled another one off. This is an 8-pitch at bat right now. This will be the 9th pitch coming.
Why he's such a good hitter. Fan made a nice play over there. You know, Papelbon and Ruiz are trying everything. Locations, different pitches. And they made out pitches to him a couple times, and he's just reached out and fouled them off.
Came back with a splitter. One away here in the 9th. It did take some pitches, but Pat threw the right one at the end.
Yeah, mostly fastballs. He did foul off one 2-2 splitter. They went with another one, and that baby disappeared. Look at this thing. It's a strike out of his hand for Daniel Murphy, and by the time he lets it go, it ain't a strike anymore.
Ike Davis 1 for 3. He struck out twice. Strike one. 0-1 the count.
Carlos Ruiz put down, looked like split for the first one, and Jonathan shook him off. Then they went to fastball away and got a strike.
Splitter, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the crowd coming to their feet. 215th consecutive sellout. Little high, 2-2. That guy's got it all. He's got the puppet. I think it's the Doc puppet. No, it's the Cliff Lee puppet. That puppet will be activated by Wednesday. It's just getting in some work.
Yeah.
3-2, 1 out here in the top of the 9th.
Be nice to see him out there again.
Yep. Justin Turner on deck.
He just went to split.
He did. It's ball 4. So a 1-out walk, and Turner will be the hitter.
Not a guy who's going to run either, and Ike Davis. One thing you do not have on right now is a base stealer. There he goes.
I would be with you. I'd be very surprised if he took off.
He is not a guy that's going to run.
Turner was robbed his last time up by John Mayberry out in left field. Takes a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. We've seen Papelbon get up and stretch and get himself ready for games. He just hasn't gotten up to throw, except for last night. He got up a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, I'm worried about him being a little bit rusty, but he's right around the plate.
He sure is.
Murphy just gave him a tremendous at bat, and Davis did too just now. These guys give some tough at bats. They're a They're a young team with some guys who don't swing and miss a whole lot from what you see watching them.
John Roush warming in the pen.
Davis does maybe, but they make a lot of contact. They foul balls off, and they make pitchers work.
Got it. Ruiz hung on. 95 on the gun. 2 set aside by Papelbon. And Nikias will hit for the first time.
Went with a fastball here. Got to elevate a little bit. Turner chased it. And nice job by, as you said, Carlos Ruiz to hold on, because you can't practice that play.
Now Nikias on the year is a 200 hitter. He's played in just 8 games. This is his 9th ball game.
Polanco on the line. Of course, the third base guarding against an extra base hit, and the outfielder's real deep. There's your late inning tie ball game defense. Pretty standard.
That one's back toward the Hall of Fame club. And it's one of the luxury suites. 1 ball, 1 strike the count to Nikias. Nikias came on for Josh Tolley, who was involved in the collision at the plate with Ty Wigginton. At the bottom of the 9th inning, the Phillies will have Rollins, Mayberry, Victorino due up. Looks like against John Roush. Curveball, that's in. It's first time he's thrown the breaking pitch, and I think he shocked Nikias.
Yeah, he doesn't throw that very often, and he has a decent slider. He kind of helicoptered that one, but as you said, I think the element of surprise was there.
It did look more like a curve than a slider. It is a slider, though, by trade. Fastball, split, slider. 1-2 the count. Runner on first. The 1-2 pitch. Another foul ball. And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A long inning for Papelbon, but he hasn't worked for such a long time. He's fine.
Yep.
I'm going to go talk about it. Carlos Ruiz wanted a fastball away that time. I think he's tailing up and in. And that's what they're trying to do. You know, they always want to stay away from a guy's power side in a game like this, in this spot in the game. And, you know, right-handed hitter, you think stay away from middle in.
Trying to get the "Let's Go Phillies" chant down.
I think to see all the young faces in the crowd all the time.
Yeah.
So many kids just loving baseball in this town right now. Whole generation.
Liner toward left field. Mayberry on the run. He can't get there. 1 hop off the wall. Davis is being held at third. It'll be second and third with 2 men down. So Nikias able to win the battle, gets his 5th hit of the year.
Through that spinning breaking ball there, the one that he got away with earlier, threw another one, and that one hung up there where he could see it. Phillies got fortunate 2 ways on that one. It comes off the wall well, and they don't have, see it spinning, just hung. And it gave Nikias a chance because he's pulling off. But see, it came right back, and now you got a base runner who can't run real well in Davis, so he couldn't score.
Well, Jordany Valdespin, who was just added to the roster today, He has 6 major league at bats. He was added for Ruben Tejada, will be the hitter. His numbers at AAA, 276 with 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Miller's on second and third. Valdespin is a 24-year-old from the Dominican Republic. Papelbon's first pitch to him. Take it for a strike. He blew it right by him. And it's 0-1. Valdespin was signed by the Mets in 2006. I should say 2007. It's been 2 years in the Dominican and Gulf Coast leagues. The 0-1 pitch in the air to right field. That's well hit. He's going to have his first major league home run. It's a 3-run shot, and the Mets take the lead 5-2. Oh, man. It's his first major league hit and his first major league home run, all in one swing. And he's going to go down to the record books with a number of guys, but it's a pretty special thing.
Yeah, they got the ball because they threw it out of the stand, so they get the ball from it. Well, that was up in the strike, so maybe a split.
So it's 5-2 Mets here in the ninth. And a strike to Andres Torres. Torres has been on base the last 2 times. 0-2 the count. Torres takes way in. It's 1-2. Now that fan has the home run ball. It was thrown back but then handed to him. Phillies ball girl didn't realize it. One and two the count to Torres. To left field. Playable for Mayberry, so the Phillies are going to have some catching up to do when we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Mets have come back from a 2-0 deficit. They tied it in the sixth, and now they've taken the lead in the ninth. And Valdespin's first major league hit, which was a 3-run home run. In the bottom of the ninth, it'll be Jimmy Rollins, John Mayberry, and Shane Victorino up for the Phils. Park. They need to get 3 to tie, 4 to win, and off the top of the order to try to do it. They'll face the Mets closer, Frank Francisco. He has saved 7 in 8 opportunities, but hold on. He has given up some runs lately. 6 earned runs in his last 3 1/3. The Mets do have 5 blown saves in 13 opportunities. It's not the most in the league, but it's near the top. See if the Phillies can make it 6 blown saves in 14 opportunities. Rollins, who's 2 for 4, will lead it off. Phillies had chances to score in the 7th and the 8th, but they couldn't do it. But then in the 9th inning, that kid right there, Valdespin, hit his first major league home run. It was his first major league hit. And it was a 3-run shot against Jonathan Papelbon. Hadn't worked since last Tuesday. I wonder if that's the baseball. I don't know if they got it back that quickly. It could be. Rollins 2 for 4 tonight. He doubled and scored in the first, struck out in the second, grounded out to short in the 5th, and then singled in the 7th. And he shows bunt, bunts it up the first base line. That's going to be a base hit. Oh, how about Ike Davis? He applied the tag. I was about to say it was going to be a base hit, but Francisco decided to flip it to Davis, and he quickly got the tag on the back of Rollins' back.
Great idea on Rollins' part, trying to get on it. Boy, do they make a good play here. This looks like a hit. Usually you get confusion between the first baseman and the pitcher on a play like that. But they did a great job communicating there. Watch right here. He goes and gets it, and well, they're so close to the bag. That's what saved him, too. And then Ike Davis with a quick tag. If that thing's a little bit further out, even though they did that, they can't get it. Still a good play.
Yep, 1 out. Mayberry's the hitter. 1 for 3 with a sac fly. Swing and a miss, 0-2. This is the start of an 8-game homestand for the Phillies, where they were hoping to make a move in the division. So far, that move is going to have to wait. 2 outs, and Victorino is the final hope for the Phils to get something cooking. This is a deflating ballgame right now.
Yeah, well, you know,
that's an understatement.
You're trying to get a little magic here tonight, and they had a bunch of chances, couldn't get it done. And then that guy right there hits a ball out. But the pitch that killed Papelbon was that high breaking ball to Nikias. He's throwing him a lot of fastballs that he's fouling off. They went to the breaking ball, and he hurt him.
Well, that's going to do it. So the New York Mets, with 3 runs in the 9th inning by rookie Jordany Valdespin, have defeated the Phillies 5-2 to take game 1 of this 3-game series. And this one is a punch in the gut for the Phils. They go down in order in their half of the 9th. Valdespin is our Chevrolet player of the game. His first career hit turns out to be his first career home run. Our W.B. Mason delivery of the game turns out to be the game-winning home run.
When he had a strike on him, yep, that was a splitter, it looked like. It looked like he dove down and into a left-handed hitter. He dropped the head on it, and it took a long ride out to right center field. That pitch was supposed to be down and away. It went down and in, and he got it.
So that is our W.B. Mason delivery of the ball game. It turns out to be the game-winning swing, the first home run of the career of Jordany Valdespin. The Mets win it 5-2. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this from Citizens Bank Park.